Hey, welcome back to the Ox Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Big Book, aka Ox. Hey, do me a favor before we get started. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you could, please. If you like the material, you like everything you hear, you like everything you see, please let me know by doing that. It helps me out in the long run. Appreciate it. Now, my Detroit Lions, let's get to it. Basically, what we can say is we got it done. We got it done. Listen, in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed. It doesn't matter who's hurt, it doesn't matter who's out. Nothing is guaranteed. So you take the win however you can get it, especially in week one. Especially in week one, because so many teams don't play their starters in the preseason. So you get a lot of teams that come out sluggish, they come out slow, and they really don't pick up steam, or they really don't seem cohesive until maybe the late stages in the game, maybe not until the second or third game of the season. That's why I really like for the starters to play at least a half in the preseason, but it's gotten to the point to where these guys make so much money. I kind of understand why they don't, because you're just an injury away from winning the division to missing the playoffs. So you know what? It was a close game. We got it done. We got it done. The Rams were missing, from what I understand, a couple of their tackles on the offensive line. They were missing somebody else too. But that's football. That's football. It's next man up. It's next man up. So we got it done. Big sigh of relief. Woo. Because Matt Stafford, I hate playing Matt Stafford. I really do. It's people kind of overlook his greatness, and I'm saying greatness because of his attributes. Man, he is so accurate. He makes the tough throws, and when he gets down what you're doing to him, he just picks you apart. I mean, the Lions were putting a lot of pressure on him, and he was getting the ball out so fast, man. It was like they were there, but the ball was gone. And just the throws he was making under duress while he was getting hit, man. You really can't blame it on the defensive backs. There were a couple people that were open, but for the most part, man, Matt Stafford was just dotting that ball. And there's nothing you can do for somebody who can do that. I do not like playing him, man. Especially when he has weapons. There's a reason why he's a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. I understand a lot of the losses he had here in Detroit. And what he's had to endure career-wise. The postseason record when he did get in, just things didn't happen, well while he was here. And, I'm glad that he had a chance to go get a Super Bowl, because he deserves it, man. Without that Super Bowl, without that run they had in the playoffs, who's to say when he would have got in, if he would have got in the first time. I believe with that Super Bowl ring, he is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a record holder. He's a great quarterback. He's the inventor. Everybody wanted to talk about Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers till Aaron Rodgers said, hey, look, Matthew Stafford was the first person who was doing that. And I commend Aaron Rodgers for saying that. And it was on display Sunday night. I mean, my gosh, how can you as a defensive back you can't read that? I mean, the one pass he threw, forget a no-look pass. I don't even think anybody was in the area when he threw the ball. It was just unbelievable. So, it's just good to get out, of that game with a win. That's the most important thing. Nobody got hurt, seriously hurt. So, Puka got hurt. for the Rams, and wishing the best for him. You don't want to see that for nobody. I believe he's out for 4 games. The Rams placed him on the IR, so hopefully he comes back and he's 100% after that. But let's get into it. Jared Goff had a good game. 18 for 28, 217, had a touchdown, but he also had an interception. That was a bad interception, too. I don't know where he was throwing that ball. It must have been kind of like the same as Stafford. No, it wasn't. Stafford, I don't think he saw the defensive back. I think Jared did, but I think he was trying to layer that ball over the top, and he just didn't get enough on it. But in that situation, that was a bad throw. David Montgomery, he got going in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. 17 carries for 91 yards with a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries for 40 yards. I like that combination there. I still like it. And you can see that it wasn't blending real good the first and second quarter, third quarter. But as the game wore on, as that offensive line started to wear down that defensive line, David Montgomery starts to wear on you. He really does. And then when he starts wearing you, you hit Jahmyr Gibbs in the passing game, and that's a lethal duo we have there. That's a lethal duo we got. I love it. Even though Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta wasn't big factors, they made key catches. But even though they weren't big factors, J-Mo stepped up. Finally, we're finally reaping the benefits of that pick. It took a little while, but it's finally happening. 5 catches, 121 yards, touchdown. He looked great. It was a little scary there for a second when he went down. I was hoping that it wasn't a serious injury, but he was back in the lineup within a couple plays. So he played great, and if we can get that kind of production from J-Mo, when the defense is worried about Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta, now you got to worry about J-Mo. You got to worry about him taking the top off the ball. You got to worry about Amon-Ra St. Brown running that middle, Sam Laporta running that middle, and Jahmyr Gibbs running around in the flat. Man, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a great problem to have. We have a lot of weapons, and I think we have a quarterback, and we have the demeanor, the team demeanor, the wide receiver demeanor. It's like the guys are satisfied. I know everybody wants their numbers, but it's like the guys are satisfied with somebody else shining. And that's great, man. J-Mo, he might not have another big game for another 2 or 3 games, but it's coming. But, if he don't have a big game, it's going to be St. Brown or it's going to be Laporta. So let me see. Sam Laporta, 5 catches, 45 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 for 34. Amon-Ra only had 13 yards on 3 catches, but like I said, you're not going to get too many games like that from him, and you probably won't get any more. It took a minute. It took a minute for the team to gel. It did. And, once they did, it was nice to see. So hopefully, in this next game against Tampa Bay, we should see better results offensively and defensively, especially if the defense can put the same amount of pressure they did on Stafford. If they can do that to Mayfield, Mayfield is not even in the class of Stafford as far as throwing the football, and Mayfield is prone to turning the ball over. We should be okay. We should. Secondary look good. Terrion Arnold, great addition. So, I think we need somebody on that line to help out Aiden Hutchinson. We got to get somebody on that other side. We got to, because they're doubling him, they're chipping him, they're making sure they're getting their hits on Aiden. They're running away from him. It's very rare that they run at him, and Aiden did all he could. He did all he could. Maybe it doesn't show up in the stats, but he if you watch the game, he had a good game. He got to Stafford so many times where it was just this close, and Stafford got rid of the ball just in time. Other times he was getting held. They called a couple, but there was some that they didn't call. Aiden did a great job. DJ Reader didn't play, who's going to help even more against the run game and maybe help take some of that pressure off of Aiden at that tackle spot. But We'll see. We'll see. And for the Rams, you had Stafford going 34 for 49, 49 passes. 49 passes. That's how you know that the run game was shut down. And but the scary thing about that is you got Stafford whipping that ball around. And as Detroit fans know, as we know, he can whip that ball around. And it's like he gets better with age, man. I'm telling you, he is so accurate. It's I couldn't believe that he missed his wide receiver on that third down, because if they complete that pass and they get one more first down, the game is really over. But it was enough pressure put on him to where he just put a little bit too much on it, fell incomplete, and we got a chance to get the ball and go down and kick the tying field goal. So um, that was good. Kyron Williams, 18 carries for 50 yards. He did have a touchdown, but that's about it in the running game. As far as receiving, Cooper Kupp, he's awesome. He's awesome. 14 receptions, 110 yards, one touchdown. And I'm going to tell you what, if we don't get that ball, if we don't get the ball in overtime, they go down and get at least a field goal. Because it really wasn't us stopping Stafford. It was him overthrowing or him doing something was the reason why that they were stopped. It really wasn't too much we were doing. We were pressuring him, but man, when he, I don't know if they have something to where when the quarterback is trying to see if you're in man or zone and he's sending somebody across, I don't know if you can. There's got to be a way you mix that up to where maybe we shuffle across like it's zone, but we pick up man, or vice versa. We got to do something, because a quarterback like that, and once again, there's not too many quarterbacks like Stafford in the league. It's a handful. But when we play him, man, we got to be able to mix up a couple things, because he was killing us. He was killing us when he found out it was zone. The wide receivers was sitting in the spot and he was dotting them up. And when it was man, we would just run a lot of crosses and everything, and he was just accurate, man. So there's got to be a way that Aaron Glenn can disguise something to where it does. They can't tell right off the jump of the ball. Let's show something, jump into something else. Tyler Johnson, 5 receptions, 79 yards. Colby Parkinson, 4 for 47. Demarcus Robinson, 4 for 42. Like I said, Puka got hurt. Puka Nacua, 4 for 35. But he was a big part of their offense that they lost, a huge part. So, did it help? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe Cooper Kupp doesn't have the receptions he has if Puka is playing. Maybe it doesn't change the end result. We don't know. We got the win, and that's the important part. We got the win. So happy about that, man. I mean, sitting there just stressed out watching the game, man, because you're like, man, how in the world is Stafford doing this? How? And he was doing it. But, the old Lions, and I hate bringing up same old Lions, because this Lions team is not, they're not that. But those Lions would have lost this game, especially when we're up 17-3. They come back and take the lead, score 17 straight points. They take a 2017 lead. But, our guys didn't blink, man. Our guys didn't blink. We stood firm, played defense, got the ball. And when you're a better team, when it's time to show who you are, you show who you are. And we did. We went down there, and I wish we got a touchdown, but we went down there, got the game time field goal, got the ball in overtime, and we wore them down. We wore them down, and we showed them who we were in overtime. Smash mouth football. And I'm going to tell you, it's hard to do that in the NFL. It is hard. This is not college football. This is not Michigan playing Penn State last year and running the ball 32 straight times. This is the NFL, and they know it's coming, and you are still doing it. That has got to account for something. It was like once we got going, we could do that. And I believe that this will carry over to the next game, which is going to be a very good game, I think, for the most part. I believe the Lions will win by double digits when Tampa Bay comes into town. But, you know, you got to take them as you get them. You got to take them as you get them. And this team fought the whole night. Man, our crowd, let me tell you something. That crowd in Ford Field, I don't think there's a better crowd. I really don't. I really don't. Detroit really has a home field advantage. Sean McVay said it last year. He said that place was the loudest he has ever heard. That's coming from Sean McVay. Detroit has a real home field advantage. There was a couple false starts, during the game due to the crowd. And if the crowd gives you two or three of them in the game, you'll take them. You'll take them. But that is a great home field advantage we have now. So we'll see how everything transpires during the week. Like I said, if we get that same production from J-Mo, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. You got to worry about J-Mo. Then you got to worry about, to me, St. Brown, who's one of the top 5 receivers in the league, and probably one of the top 2 or 3 tight ends in Sam Laporta. I mean, we have weapons. We have serious weapons. And when you have to worry about everybody, because you have a quarterback, offensive coordinator who will get the ball to everybody. And then even though we have those weapons, we got the double duo in the back with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Problem. It's a good problem to have because we haven't had many problems like that in a while. It's a good problem to have, And there's a subtle difference to where even though St. Louis went and took the lead, now I was hoping we got the ball back. But once we did, it was like either we're going to go win the game or tie it. I just knew it. It's like it's a different feeling now, man. It's a different feeling now with these Lions, and it was like when we got the ball in overtime, I knew the game was over. I knew the game was over. I knew we were going to go down and score. It's just something different about these guys, man. It's something different. So, like I said, happy about the win. You take them how you get them. And I think the Rams are going to be a good team. It's going to be hard without Puka right now. So they may, acquire a couple more losses that they wouldn't have, which may knock them out of the playoff race. And it sounds crazy, just one game into the season, but Puka's out for 4 weeks. So they could easily go 2-2 the next 4 games, and now what? They got a 2-3 record. It doesn't get any easier for them. They play the Cardinals next. The Rams do. They play the 49ers. That's probably a loss. They play the Bears, Packers, Raiders. So you can see them going 2-3 those next games. The Vikings after that. So we'll see how it turns out for them. Hopefully Puka's okay. And hopefully our offense comes out on fire the next game. I know the offense will play better. I know the defense will play better. Hutch is going to play better. Hopefully DJ Reader is playing the next game. And, we just do what we do. We do what we do. We don't give up. We don't break. We can't break this team. we're going to keep coming. We're going to keep fighting. And I like that about them. I do. So, hey, I thank you for joining me on tonight, giving my recap of what happened between the Lions and the Rams. And like I said, if you enjoyed the content, man, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop something else. Really helps me out. Appreciate you. God bless.